Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the next session. And for this session, we are going to hear some thoughts and we're going to talking about how to build omni-channel communications and personalized interactions to engage customers at scale. And we have a speaker for this session. He is Pak Mahendra, a customer solutions architect lead, Vonage Singapore. So I will show him on stage right now. Okay. Hi, Pak Mahendra.
Hello, thank you, Melissa.
Hello, how are
Um,
you?
all good, and
All
I'm
good.
really, I'm really excited to do this session for our audience today.
Oh, yes. Okay, so the stage is yours, Pak Mahendra. And for all the participants, if you have a question to Pak Mahendra, you can use the Q&A feature, all right? Okay, the stage is yours, Pak Mahendra. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll just go ahead and share my screen here. So, hope my screen is visible to everyone. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. A very good afternoon to you. So, today I'm going to cover a very interesting topic, which is building omni-channel communication and personalized interactions to engage with customers at scale. Okay, so again, just to introduce myself right before we get started, my name is Mahendra, and I'm leading the customer solutions team for Southeast Asia at Vonage. So again, I'm based out of Singapore, but I cover Indonesia as a market as well. So just to touch a bit on Vonage as well, right? So Vonage is a global leader in the CPaaS space, and what we do is we help to enable next generation communication solutions that are more flexible, intelligent, and personal. Okay, again, we know that in the previous sessions we talked about how personalized interactions are important for brands, right? And obviously, what we do is we also empower our customers to do what is next and stay ahead of the game. Again, we are doing solutions which are enabling the brands to go and be successful in the future as well. So that's a quick introduction about Vonage and myself as well. So to move ahead, right, now again, this topic is all about omni-channel communication, right? So it is very important to understand what omni-channel communication is, and what does omni-channel mean, and what are the key things that brands need to keep a note of, right? So according to a global research, right, that we did recently, the very important frustration that most of the consumers have is when they are interacting to the brand, they have to keep on repeating themselves. So for example, I have booked a ticket on a web page, and then I reach out to the customer support using maybe a call. There is no context that is built, so I need to go and repeat everything myself. So that's one of the major frustrations. So, one way to prevent this kind of customer frustration is to build an integrated multi-channel customer experience that is seamless regardless of where or which channel the consumer is using. Okay. And this kind of multi-channel is what we call as omni-channel experience, where the brand is interacting with your consumers over different channels and understands the context as well. So again, from a consumer endpoint, it is also easy for him, right, from an experience. So the consumer can switch between the channels and restart the conversation. So for example, if I've sent an message or SMS and I start making a call, the brand needs to understand that, okay, this is just in continuation to the previous conversation that was happening. Okay, so that is very, very important. So now in an omni channel solution, right, what are the key points, right? So knowing insights about the preferred customer channels. Okay, business can engage with the customers through many different channels. Again, we know that different markets, consumers have their preferences, and also different segments in the society, they have preference about the channels as well. So we know now that like the new millennials, right? They use a lot of social apps, they like to use video chat, but there is also a part of the society that is still on traditional channels like SMS and all. So bringing that preferences into your solution is very, very important when the brand is building the omni channel strategy. So we believe that omni-channel should be considered as creation of a seamless transition between the channels and building them and managing them in a single platform. So again, managing in a single platform is important because when your support personnel, or when the brand is talking to the consumer, they understand the journey that the consumer has taken, or the interaction that has happened in the past. So the goal is to deliver a context and insights into the user's interactions with the brand again, and by this has to happen in a very frictionless way. So there should not be hiccups like, oh no, and let me check with the other tools or something like that. It has to be frictionless. So we realize that businesses are needing to build seamless experiences, right? And to create and grow the seamless experience, they have to have the most effective building blocks to do that. Okay, so the solution that the brand is or the brand is trying to build has to be catering for all the building blocks that are needed. So understanding the consumers, understanding what channels, and then the platform that will bring all of this together. So moving on, I think why an omni channel is needed, right? So why do brands need to think about omni channel? And I think the most important answer to this is obviously providing exceptional customer experience. So in today's digital world, and I think today's world where everyone now has a smartphone, and they have their choices and preferences, right? How they interact with the brand. So building that next level of customer experience is what a brand now differentiates. So this was very different in the past. So Forrester actually ran a study into customer experience and what really mattered to consumers, right? And what has come out from that report is now CX, or customer experience, has outperformed all the other things that a brand that the brand needs to consider, right, for their consumers. So what has been seen is almost 14 percentage points collect the revenue growth. When you give a greater customer experience, the revenue growth increases almost by 14 percentage. So this is again Forrester research. And the consumer experience index data also showed that customers who have a better experience with a company, they are more unlikely to move away from that brand, so they keep on continue to engage with the brand and buy more products. So again, that's very interesting. And the second stats around this customer experience is also about cutting costs. So what has happened is brands, through giving this kind of experience, they have actually cut down their cost in terms of obviously we all know that support is usually a cost center, right, for any brand. So when you when you cut down the times that a consumer needs to interact with your brand through different channels, or keeping on repeating and you engaging them through your support personnel, there's a lot of cost savings that happens to this. So building omni channel and building that context, providing that seamless experience, we have seen that there is a lot of cost savings that the brand can achieve. And again, great customer experience drive great customer retentions. And when you save this cost, this is again adding to your sales, right? Like it is adding for the profitability of the brand as well. So that's important. So this is why CX is important. And there are some customer experience trends that every brand should consider. Now when building this omni-channel strategy, it is very important to understand what are the key trends in the market, right? And now, according, again, we have done certain research into this. So um, there is a global research from McKinsey and Company where customers now view personalization as the default standard for engagement. Again, everyone wants to be treated like, okay, the brand knows them, they know their journey, and again, it just elevates the experience that the end consumers have. So 71% of customers expect businesses to deliver personalized interactions today, and 76% of them become frustrated when it doesn't happen. So again, this is a research from McKinsey that clearly states that personalization is now imperative for brands to provide when they are interacting with customers. Secondly, McKinsey survey also says that now, pandemic actually accelerated the digitalization of customer communication and the supply chain interaction. So by there, like it was very different 4 years ago, or even like before the pandemic. But in a rush to open up communication channels, many companies adopted solutions that failed to provide secure, seamless, or omni-channel experience that the customers want. Because it was a rush; they were rushing against the time. There was a huge, obviously, we know that some kind of channels like video and all were accelerated in this period. So providing that seamless experience when delivering this to multiple channels is very, very important, that the brand needs to consider. Okay, the next one is, in order to help customer support teams, right, do more with less, we see more business leverage communication technologies that are AI enabled. So again, providing that automation layer is also important nowadays, so that whatever simple queries that the consumers have can be answered quickly through the artificial intelligence. And it also helps in reducing the frustration that the consumers have, like waiting in terms of when they make a call, they have to wait in a call, or they have to call back. So it actually helps in elevating that customer experience when you deploy such AI enabled technologies. Okay, and lastly, as companies continue to automate communication, they also need to be strategic about where and how these technologies are helping, right, the human interactions. So it's not like everything can be replaced with the AI based solutions or digitalization. So there also has to be a bit of human touch, because again, at the end of the day, we still like to interact with humans. So um, getting that as part of the strategy is very important as well, from a strategy for elevating the customer experience. Okay, so next one, right, let's talk about what personalized interactions do, right? So now we know that customers expect companies to engage them as individuals, right? So rather than having something like static, we always feel privileged when you interact and they call you by your name. So that is very important nowadays. And so customers do expect this kind of interactions today. So they valued offers that match their preferences. They feel comfortable when they are contacted through their preferred channel as well. So understanding which channel the consumer is preferring and communicating with them is very important as well. Consumers also value personalized message content rather than generic message. So I talked about it, personalized message related to maybe the name, the place you are from, your kind of taste you have in terms of the product you're buying from the brand. So this is very important. They also expect to be addressed by the right customer support with the right competency. So again, that's important as well. So if you are calling the customer for a particular product, it is imperative that the agent, or the solution that you are using, it has the right competency to answer to the question as well. Okay, so how companies can personalize the interactions with customers is, obviously, first, they can engage customers through the channel of their choice. So interact with customers through their comfort zone is one basic personalized approach. Understand the customer's channel, I think I talked about it, and reach them through these channels. When multiple channels are used, make sure that they can move the conversation between different mediums. So we talked about it. So this is one important part of omnichannel. So moving interactions between the channel and keeping the context to it, and connecting them to the customer service who have precisely the expertise that needs to be answered to the questions, right? So again, through your queues and all, to have different queues specialized to the particular products or the catalog that the brand has. The second is also to tailor interactions. So instead of using a generic message template, many brands do that. So when you communicate to them, they just send you a very generic template like welcome and what we can help and all. So interacting with a tailored personal message is what make customers feel more valued. That's important. And deeply integrating communication channels will allow messages to get more customer information. So again, if you have a CRM where you are having all your data related to the customer, so using that data and responding to a customer is important, uh, in terms of sending personalized messages. So yeah, and again, so integrate to analytics will also help businesses to get more insights, right? So analytics is all about the customer context, right? Or the journey that the customer has gone through, and then tailoring your responses. So take an example, right? You have seen a movie recommendation in Netflix app. Now what Netflix does today is that when you first subscribe, they ask for your preferences and all, and then later on you will see that whenever you open up the app, or when you turn it on the TV, they always give you, like, based on what you have seen, all the content will be pushed to you in that preference. And so it makes life so easy for you to actually go and view the content of your choice. So that's something, that's an example of how personalized you can make. Or also when online shop contact you, right, they mention your name. So many brands nowadays, when you try to contact them, they know you, they know what you have done in the past, and they start interacting with you as if you have known them for a while. So customers also increasingly prefer conversational approach to engagement. So they don't want to have kind of a static kind of thing. So they want you to have a conversational kind of an experience. So that when you engage to them, they feel more closer to the brand as well. So this is obviously partly due to the influence of the social apps now, right? We are so much into using social media and social media channels today. So that is one of the key things that is driving now for consumers to go on a, even in terms of their buying journey, going towards a conversational based approach. Okay. So this is how personalized approaches will help the brands. Now, there are certain analytics around, how this has helped brands and organizations to be successful as well, right? And uh, in terms of being successful is also to shift the customer experience from being more like just responsive to anticipatory. Okay, anticipate, so it's like being proactive rather than being reactive to customer queries, right? And obviously when this happens, you win the customer's loyalty. And obviously the customer experience is just goes to the next level when brands deploy such solutions. So so what organizations can do is to go deeper into interactions, which means data that is just siloed, right? You can use that data to actually help understand your customer, and then reach out to the consumers and meet their demands when needed as well. So again, the timing is also important, right? So when you know the customers preferences, so take an example of travel, right? You know when holidays are, or when the customer usually buys product. That in a proactive way is what helps the brand to be successful there. And also it helps the consumer as well, because it knows that okay, at the right time I got information about a product and I could easily go and buy it rather than me going and searching it around. Okay, so to enable this, one way that businesses can consider is to build communication channels that is easy to integrate, and obviously relevant to the systems that the brand has well. So as part of the strategy, it's important to understand which channels you have, plus what systems you have currently, and how this ecosystem can help you to build that omni-channel experience for customers. Okay, so now a very important question that comes with many brands is, so what is the best channel to engage with consumers, right? So like, do I use SMS, do I use voice, or do I use WhatsApp? So again, there is no silver bullet to use. So there are so many channels that are available today, and again, there are so many new channels that are being introduced as well. So businesses are now trying to understand channels that they need to respond to, right? So the preferred channel, it varies from customer to customer. It varies depending on the geography as well and the demographic as well. So for example, when you target customers which are in maybe more of a metros or stuff, you have to have a strategy, a different strategy for them. But when you are having, maybe you're doing some kind of campaigns where you are targeting maybe more of the rural kind of areas, that strategy has to be different. Plus, if you're targeting a particular country, that strategy has to be different as well. So there is no silver bullet. Again, different countries, like what we have done some research in terms of uh, which countries and what channels we use, what channels people prefer in those countries. So this is just a study that we did at Vonage in the recent past. And what we have seen is like what you see, right? The preferred channel among different countries in APAC. So like what you see in China is people offer, like people prefer to have mobile first, then obviously phone channel, messaging apps, and the third one is live chat. So again, this study was done in 2020, but since the pandemic, this has now the landscape of this has also changed. So many brands now, or many consumers in those countries now, prefer also to have engagement over social channels than even calling through the mobiles and stuff. Okay, so most preferred channels, like especially for Indonesia, what we are seeing is most preferred channel is still phone call via messaging apps, followed by mobile phones and messaging. But again, as I said, WhatsApp is the most popular channel that we have seen here, and yeah, we are also seeing consumers more and more adopting to interactions through that as a channel. Okay, so in terms of building now, I covered about omni-channel, I covered about customer experience, how it helps the brand. So what kind of solutions should brand go and check for, right, when they are trying to build their omni-channel strategy or the customer? So now a global study, right, that Forrester did shows that companies who choose a advanced CPaaS platform over a complex, individual API. So many brands do go for individual APIs and try to build a solution which is more complex. So getting an advanced CPaaS platform can help to improve the customer experience and increase the revenue for the brand. So just keep it simple. Get a platform that is that has the required channels, and it can do the integrations to your backend solutions as well. So that's what is important. And obviously, companies like Vonage, which are the leaders in the CPaaS space, we actually help enable companies to quickly go and deploy these solutions and create that unique and creative experiences for your customers to interact with the brand. So that is very important for brands to consider when building that omni-channel strategy. So at Vonage, what we help is we help enable exceptional customer journeys. So again, like what I talked, we help to um, with multiple channels. So again, we have the breadth and channels of features that we provide through our platform. And being a global provider, our platform is obviously it has the required redundancy and the scalability for brands to use. So when you want to scale, maybe from a particular location in a country, or between regions, or between different like countries around the globe, right, we have the scale that we can provide for the brands to scale your business as well and scale your interactions with your consumers. Plus, what we have is from a CPaaS perspective, we deliver we are a developer friendly platform. So if you have any internal systems that needs integrations with, these solutions can be easily integrated, and you can have that context built as part of it. So again, integrations to your CRMs, integrations to your maybe marketplace solutions, or integrations to your um, any internal system that you have where you have your consumer data can be easily done. Now what the other important part that we provide is also to have we have a big partner ecosystem where we have connectors to leading solutions as well. So if you are using any tool from a maybe a CRM provider and all, we also have some partner solutions where we deliver the connectors which can be easily deployed and managed. Okay, so again, just coming back, so with the different breadth of the channels that we provide, right, we help deliver that contextual cross channel communication solutions that are, flexible. It can be personalized, and all can be integrated into one single UI as well, like what I talked about. So you can have a complete unified kind of an experience when you are interacting with the end consumers. Okay, so with that, I would also like to introduce. So at Vonage, just keeping this customer experience and omni-channel thing in mind, right? We also have a very interesting product that we recently launched. Again, it's an acquisition that we did recently. So this company is called Jumper.ai, which is under us. It's a brand new solution that helps businesses elevate both their customer sales and customer experience through end-to-end conversational commerce. Okay, so it's a conversational commerce solution, and what it does is this essentially, right, it powers the consumers to learn more about about the product, so they can interact with maybe through the automation or through a live agent. They can understand the product more, they can ask questions, and plus they can have that checkout journey through the same chat or a same channel that they are interacting with the brand. So it's an end to end conversational journey, conversational buying experience that consumers can experience through Jumper. Okay, so yeah, so it's an end to end conversational commerce platform that helps businesses to bring the commerce experience closer to the customers. So rather than having them that experience through a static web page, they can now interact and have that buying experience through the chat channel itself. So, and like what you see on this, right, Jumper, it does provide the automation layer. So if you want to have those simple interactions answered directly through bot, it does that bot layer. Um, it provides the unified inbox. So when consumers are interacting with your brand through maybe different social channels like Facebook Messenger, you see there are a plethora of channels that we provide. So whatever channels they communicate through, you have a unified inbox, and the consumers journey as well, and the context that they have gone through, or the journey that they have gone through. And the other two key areas that Jumper provides is also the built-in commerce engine. So the consumers can check out the product, they can pay it directly. It has integrations to a lot of payment gateways, so they can pay for the product. And plus it also has integrations into leading logistic companies as well, so they can also schedule the delivery through the platform as well. And from a brand perspective, what Jumper provides is also the analytics around how many products are being sold, what is the experience for your consumers, what is the typical time that consumers are spending with the brand. So all that detailed analytics are provided as part of the platform as well. So very relevant in today's world for brands, right, to actually go and build these kind of omni-channel experiences for the consumers. Okay, so yeah, with that, I end my presentation. Any questions, maybe from the audiences?
Okay, so maybe if all participants have a question, you can join the speakers lounge to give your question to all the speakers. You can network with one another there. So just check it out, all the feeder here on Air Meet. Okay. All right. So, Mahendra, maybe you have a closing statement.
Yeah, so I think the closing statement would be, again, customer experience is very important. I know in the sessions that we have had so far, right, we are talking about the next generation communication solutions and how brands should prepare themselves for interacting with their consumers and what kind of experience they need to provide for it, right? And building that omni-channel experiences with personalization is very, very important. Now we know in day-to-day life, obviously we are still in the age where we still do hybrid buying, right? Like we still go
Mm.
to a store where half of the products we buy on it. But very soon in the metaverse world, right, it's going to elevate this to the next level, like how you feel the products, how you experience it. So we just have to keep that in mind. And from a brand perspective, it is important that they strategize on how they are going to help interacting with their brands in near future when these technologies are there, and how they can be prepared for it from now,
Yeah, yeah.
considering what yeah, considering the points that I just talked about in the presentation.
So it is necessary to prepare all the strategies from now, yeah,
Yes,
for the future.
absolutely.
Okay.
And at
Thank.
Vonage, we are
Mhm.
committed to serve our customers with this kind of solutions. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, just feel free to reach out, and we will help with that strategy as well.
Yes, yes. Feel free to reach out for all the participants, and thank you so much, Pa Mahendra, for an interesting ideas and thoughts that you sharing with us for this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're
Thank you,
really
Mahendra.
happy to have you here.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank
Okay,
you.
then.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, Pa Mahendra. So all the participants, we have to move to the next session, but parallel at the same time, we still have a panel discussion session. It is the future is now, so you can check it out on the schedule. And in a bit, we will start the new session. It is personalization in the age of omni-channel marketing. So see you there.